Welcome, class. Today we are going to become nutrition and physical activity experts. By the end of the day, you are going to have learned all about the different food groups, the food groups and their portion sizing, physical activity, rest, and sleep, and then we will connect them all together and wrap up our lesson. Can we begin by naming some of the food groups? Awesome. Great. Our main food groups, according to myplate.gov, include fruit, such as bananas, strawberries, or apples, vegetables, like broccoli, lettuce, or beans, protein, which are neat because they also can include beans or legumes, and as well as meats, fish, or poultry, like chicken. Continuing on, grains, which include our breads, cereals, and rice, and then dairy, which think about cows because this is where our milk, cheese, and yogurt are all included in. And lastly is the oil group. This group contains our healthy essential fats like olive oil. Butter is another fat that can be categorized in this group. Okay, boys and girls, look up at the screen. We are going to do an activity called Where Do I Belong? You can see there are food items scattered all about the screen. Your job is to please get out a piece of paper and pair up with a partner. You and your partner are going to write down the food on the screen and then next to it put its corresponding food group. Remember, oils are included as a food group. After 2 minutes, we will reconnect and go over the answers. Remember, our food groups are fruit, vegetables, grains, proteins, dairy, and oils. Okay, please look up here. Regroup. Okay, so we can go over the answers now. First, we will begin with the banana. Can anybody guess where the banana goes? Great. It's a fruit. Next, we will talk about bread. Bread can be categorized as a grain. Great. Okay, this next one might be a trick question. Where can the pizza be categorized as? Yes, that is one answer. Pizza can be categorized as a grain because of the crust, a protein because of the pepperoni on it, and also a dairy because of the cheese. The next one's not so tricky. Where does our chicken leg belong? Yep, it's a protein. And how about broccoli? It stays where it was. It's a vegetable. And then our cheese is a dairy. Our butter is an oil. Our olive oil is an oil. And our lettuce. Okay, so you may be wondering how much of each food group you need. For most food groups, boys and girls your age, from 9 to 13 years old, need about the same amount of each food group. There are a few food groups that do different though. We will begin with fruits. Fruits, both boys and girls, need about 1.5 cups. Vegetables and grains differ. Boys need about a 1/2 cup more of vegetables and about 1 ounce more of grains. There's not a huge difference, but a little bit does go a long way. Continuing, proteins, dairy, and oils are all the same for boys and girls. If you are having a hard time figuring out how much 1 ounce of grains is, it's equal to about 1 slice of bread. And if you are having difficulty figuring out how much 1 ounce of protein is, it's equal to about 1 egg. Okay, our next activity is called Pro My Portion. There will be different pictures up on the screen, and your job is to figure out which one is the correct portion for the food group. Do we want 7 strawberries or a pile of strawberries? Awesome. 7 strawberries is correct. Do we want 3 tablespoons of kidney beans or 5 tablespoons of corn? Awesome. We're going to go to the that category. 3 tablespoons of kidney beans is perfect portion sizing. Okay, do we want a slice of bread or a bagel? Awesome. Great. I love that you remember that a slice of bread is about 1 ounce of grain. Okay, so do we want 1 cup of cheese Or do we want to drink 1 cup of milk for our portion? Fantastic! It's 1 cup of milk. Great. Okay, so moving on to our protein. Do we want to eat 3 whole eggs or do we just want 1? Correct. 1 big egg is just enough for our portion. Okay, lastly, do we want about a thumb full of olive oil or a half cup of butter? Great. Stay happy and healthy with 1 thumbful of olive oil. Great job. Okay, just as a reminder, here's a visual. So remember that 1 ounce is about a fistful, or your palm size full, 1 cup is about a fistful, and 1 teaspoon is about a fingerful. You may be wondering what food is for. Well, food is not only for our taste buds to enjoy, but it also provides nutrients and fuel to our body. It also does this really cool thing known as homeostasis. You see the balance being off to the left-hand side of the screen. That is a symbol because homeostasis also means balance. Homeostasis is called balance because it's our body's internal scale. So now we know that food's role is fuel for when we move, and as well as it balances our nutrients. Now that we have fueled our bodies, we are ready for some physical activity. What is physical activity, you may ask? Any ideas? Awesome, I love your enthusiasm. Physical activity basically is any movement that requires energies. If you are using your muscles, it's physical activity. Some examples of physical activities include riding your bike, jumping up and down, or just walking around. There are 2 types of physical activity as well, known as moderate or vigorous. If you are partaking in vigorous physical activity, you're going to be breathing a little bit heavier than you would in moderate physical activity. So why do we put so much emphasis on exercise and physical activity? Well, physical activity has great health benefits. It's really important for your mental and physical health. Then, also by having a healthier mind and body, you'll be able to experience a longer life and healthier life from your healthy food and activity habits. Lastly, life will just be better because you will have a better self-esteem and you'll just be a lot happier from being healthier. So smile! Okay, so everybody has friends in here, right? Oh, alright, I thought so. Well, physical activity does too. One of his best friends actually is nutrition. It is important to know what you are eating because what you eat plays a huge role in how you are able to be physically active. So, if you are eating and fueling your body properly while maintaining a good physical activity level, then the 2 working together have the ability to improve your overall health. Also, when you expend energy and run about, your body burns calories, also known as fuel. It's like a gas tank. You can have more fuel if you've put in more calories for the day, or less fuel if you have maybe not ate as much for the day. So nutrition is important to know that it helps replenish the calories lost by your body. And you're going through calories right now as you're sitting in front of me. It's, as I said, like refilling your gas tank. Also, during physical activity, your body uses up specific nutrients, and the food that you eat is able to replenish all the nutrients that your body has lost. You may be asking how much physical activity you need to be doing if I'm stressing that it's so important. Well, the recommendations from my plate say that for 6 to 17-year-olds, that's you, should be getting at least 60 minutes a day of physical activity. Should it be vigorous or moderate? It doesn't really matter, but 3 days of vigorous activity per week is optimal. How many days a week should you be exercising if vigorous is 3 of them? Every day is a great day. Just be sure to have at least 1 rest day that is either completely off or very mild in activity level. And what should you do for physical activity? pretty much anything, but make sure to make it be very, very fun. Remember, just move. Okay, grab a group of 3. Alrighty, you have your group of 3. I want you guys to take 5 minutes to come up with a fun activity to do with your friends that gets you active. I don't want anything that has to do with Wii Sports or Just Dance. I want you guys outside, up and moving. We'll regroup and we'll talk about the activities you guys have come up with in class. Your activities were so great, but now I want you to, quick, get active, go. Do what you see on the board and then sit down and rest and wait for the rest of the class to be done. Awesome. Now that we're all rested, we're going to talk about rest for a minute. What is rest anyway? Any guesses? Good. But actually, rest is a non-work related activity. It's activities that generally don't require movement. Rest allows your body to relax and refresh itself or recover its strength. So, what's the importance of rest and how long should you do it? Well, rest is for relaxing, refreshing, and recovering your strength, as I said, but it's also important because it gives your body time to refocus, recoup, and relax itself so you're not as overwhelmed, tired, and unattentive. It's important to rest after physical activity so that your body can replenish nutrients, relax its muscles, and recoup its energy. Some people think rest is the same thing as sleep. Well, sleep is actually a type of unconscious rest. Speaking of sleep, how many hours of sleep a night do you get? Wow. Well, according to kidshealth.org, 6 to 7 hours may not just be enough. They recommend at least getting 10 to 11 hours if your age is 5 to 12 years old. Also, sleep is important because it allows your brain to sort things out from the day. Your brain then just has the ability to organize everything while giving your body and all its muscles a mini vacation. It's also great for your immune system strength. Okay, that was a lot of info that we just went over. So what exactly just happened? Well, we learned about nutrition and the food groups in it, their proper portion sizes, and that food is fuel, good fuel. After we touched on physical activity and how it's important to just move and that it's great for your overall health. Then we talked, and it's also fueled by food. Then we also talked about rest and how rest is full of our words like relax, recoup, and refocus. We finished off talking about sleep and how it's really great to rejuvenate your brain and your body. We learned that it's similar to rest and a type of rest, as well as it's just a super great way to feel refreshed for the next day that you have to face ahead of you. Awesome job connecting and paying attention today. I hope you come back with a refreshed mind from the sleep you get. Awesome way to wrap it up. Have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.